Imagine not having a house to go home to every night, parents to help you through school, or siblings to spend time with. Would you be happy? Would you feel loved? This is the life of 18 million children in the US today. Now imagine how their lives would be changed if they were adopted. They'd have a home and a family. You can be that person that changes their life. What is adoption? According to American Adoptions, the adoption agency for America, adoption means the act or process of adopting a child, but legally, adoption does not only refer to children. In fact, adults over the age of 18 can legally be adopted as well. To define adoption and what it means to the people involved is a trickier task. For parents who adopt children, adoption can be their last chance to make a family, and this process they will be forever grateful for. For birth parents, adoption can be their chance to pursue their own hopes and dreams. For children who have been adoption is a key part of their self-identity and life, without which they would not be who they are today. If you ask anyone affected by adoption what adoption means to them, you'll likely get an answer that reflects their own personal experiences with adoption. So there's really no single definition of what adoption is, just the understanding that it's a celebrated way of creating a family. According to Ashley Prominger and other research professionals, there are three main requirements of families to adopt. Families have enhanced capacity to provide for their children's needs. Children receive appropriate services to meet their educational needs. Children receive adequate services to meet their health needs. Children's needs can include anything from having a bed to sleep in and a place to bathe to having extra things such as toys and games. Educational needs can include school supplies, transportation, and a good school to go to. Medical needs can include doctors for general health, eyes, dentist, and the ability to pay medical bills. There are also several challenges that come with adoption. They can include the trauma children have faced, expenses, and the long process it takes to adopt. Children may have a good experience or a bad experience in foster care systems, so by the time that they are welcomed into your family, they could be either more open and positive, or they could have had a bad experience and be shy and closed off. Expenses of adoption can include all the needs of the child that were previously mentioned and extra things as well. There's a lot of paperwork involved in adoption, so it can be a long process that takes several months. According to Christian Pryor with Relationship Therapy Associates, although parents approach the adoption procedure in different ways, they all express satisfaction with the process. I will now tell two stories published on Adopt US Kids website, which is operated by the Adoption Exchange Association. John Thomas, a prison warden, gets firsthand exposure to children coming out of the foster care system all the time. He was married in his 40s, and him and his wife began the adoption process. Right away, they were connected with a young mom who couldn't keep her newborn child, so they took him in and adopted him. From there, they also adopted a set of 3 teen siblings and a single teen boy a couple years later. Their family quote is, "If we can do 5, you can do 1." To this day, John goes around encouraging families to adopt children. From a child's perspective, Aria Williams was put into the foster care system at 8 years old and adopted at 16. She quotes saying that she never lost hope in having a family, but she always thought it would be temporary. She never thought that she'd get her forever family. In direct quote, she said, "Not having a family was hard because I didn't have what all my friends had. Simple things like family vacations, photo albums, and baby pictures. I was so envious of people who had all these things and who felt comfortable around their parents because I was constantly struggling to fit into my foster homes. 2 years ago, when I least expected it, my adoptive parents came into my life. I met them through church. They were youth leaders and would drive me to church activities. When I found out I was going to have to move to the foster care home I was in, they were in the process of getting their license, so the timing was perfect. She quotes saying that adoption changed her life because her adoptive parents became her biggest fans and support system. They taught her how to love. In reference to whether she feels families should give teens a chance when considering adoption, she says, "I would give them a chance, or 2 or 20. Being in foster care is hard. My teenage years were filled with a lot of attitude, anger, and sass. I could never figure out how to deal with my emotions because I had a hard time trusting people. Looking back now, I realize I was not very nice to my foster parents or my caseworkers. Being in foster care forced me to build a wall inside myself that helped me block my emotions from others and push people who cared about me away. But beneath it all, I just longed for a family." I absolutely believe that adoptive parents can help teens overcome the trials of their past. Everyone needs the support and love of a permanent family. It is the most basic unit of society. Teens in foster care are strong, resilient, and smart, and given the chance, they can overcome their past and influence the world for better. Adoption can change not only a child's life, but your life too. There will be difficulties and challenges along the way, but there are so many children out there that need you. You can be their family. You can give them a home. Are you going to be that person that changes a child's life forever?